Okay guys, welcome to Gratifix Upskilling. Today I'll be showing you how to use the Cutlist optimizer to prepare your furniture cut list. So the Cutlist optimizer can be found on Play Store. So you just search for Cutlist optimizer on the search bar and get it installed. So mine is installed, so I'll just get right on it. Open. Okay, so the user interface looks like this. You have the panel area where you enter the dimensions of your components, and then you have the stock sheets. This is the size of the plywood you're using for the job. Here you have the blade thickness, you have the label on the plywood or on the panels, you have the instruction to use just one sheet if that's necessary. I don't check that. You have to consider materials grain. I don't check that. Edge binding, I do this once in a while. Again, it makes your job looks a little bit too clustered or crowded, so I don't actually use that. Then consider grain direction. This is very important. Okay, so these are this is how the user interface looks like on the components. All right, so let's just get on how to create your cut list. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be using a 4 by 6 feet wardrobe, but then in metric form, 1200 by 1818 millimeters. So on the cut list optimizer, you need to set your settings, the language, the priority, because I like to minimize waste, so I choose the least wasted area. The cut orientation, I like that to be optimal. And then the units, very important, so I use millimeters. So you can use centimeters, you can use inches, you can use the fractional inches. So for the purpose of this tutorial, let's work with millimeters. So there's more places here. I use 1. Minimum trim dimension 0. The stack panels with same cut layout, I like that to be on automatic. I like the app to do it's best for me. All right, so let me close this, and then let me open the wardrobe. Okay, so this is what what we're working with here. You have the wardrobe when it's open. At the top here, you have the connection at the top, you have the base, you have the vertical demarcation, horizontal demarcations. Okay, you have the sides, right? And then you have the doors. So on as a standard, your cut list should have these 6 components: the sides, the base and the top, the horizontal demarcation, the vertical demarcation, the doors, and obviously the connections for strength and stability. Okay, so these are the 6 bullet points we'll be looking at on this cut list tutorial. So the first thing you should do is to prepare your lists using these headers, like I earlier mentioned, the 6 headings. So make your list, write it down just like I've done here, and then you get on the app and impute those dimensions. So because I like to have my labels checked so that I can label the components. So for instance, we have 1800 by 550. The quantity is 2. That's for the side. So I like to indicate that this is the side of the wardrobe. Okay, and then we activated the grain direction. What you're seeing here, the grain direction, we activated it. So because we've done so, the top left, top right rather, you have this direction of grain coming up. So you can now play around with that. So since this is the side, I like that to be vertical, not horizontal. Okay, so this will be checked to be vertical. All right, so let me not bore you with plenty input, and also I'll just get on to load the already imputed cut list of that wardrobe. So I'll load project. I'll go to graphics upscaling. Okay, so again, if you have an existing project, like when you start using the Cutlist optimizer, you might have need to load your previously saved project. So you go to load. Sorry, let me take that again. You go to the hamburger icon at the top right. You click on it, you have the new blank project, you have a save project, you have load project, export to PDF, export to image, report an issue, or about the app if you need to know more about this app. So those are the options available on that tree. So in our case, we can do a new blank project, or we can load. So you can do a new blank project. In my own case, I'll just simply load the projects. So what I'm loading here is the cut list of this wardrobe. So everything you have here have been entered in that the provisions made in the app. So you have your base, your sides, your demarcations, the doors, and the connections. So that's what you're saying here. You have your sides, the top, the base, the horizontal demarcation, the vertical demarcation, the doors, and the connections. Okay, so and then the grain direction, obviously I made this vertical. I made this this is vertical, this is left. I decided not to choose a grain direction on that so that I can minimize waste. So but most importantly, the sides and the doors, I like them to be vertical so that it gives you that very fine finish or the aesthetics that you need. So in your case, you can use it the way you want. And then don't forget, most importantly, the 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 stock sheet you're using, that's the plywood you're using. You need to also indicate the grain direction to be vertical. Okay, so after entering the inputs on the panels and what you have here on the panel area, after making the inputs here, your cut list would not be optimized if you do not enter the the stock sheet you're working with. Okay, so in my own case, I'm using 4x8 feet plywood. So you need to enter that dimension there, otherwise display icon would not come up. So let me just demonstrate that to you. So if you look at this, I decided to take it out. Now the play icon is grayed out currently. Okay, but the moment you impute the dimension of the sheet you're working with, 2440, and the width is 1220, the quantity, let's say 4. Again, after optimization, you can actually have the actual number of sheets or the quantity that will be needed for that project. So on the label is sheets, stock sheets. Okay, right, stock sheets. So the grain direction, again here you have to choose. So I like it to be on the vertical side, that's the longer side has the grain. All right, so the blade thickness here will be 3. All right, so let's get on it. So once you're done entering all the parameters here, that's the dimension of your the panels you're working with, and then again the stock sheets, you just click on play, the play icon you have at the base here. Okay, so once you play that, your cut list optimizes. So once that is done, you can see the number of sheets needed for this job. So we entered 4 initially, but what we're seeing now is that 3 sheets of plywood can actually do the job. All right, so you have details of the cuts down here if you actually need this, but I like to work with just the cut list itself. So each of these sheets you're seeing represents the plywood, and then the components that you can cut off from that plywood is what you're seeing inside. So right at the first page, you have your base, you have a connection, you have your doors, and then you have your horizontal demarcation, your vertical demarcation, and then the top. You also have some connections here too. All right, and then the last sheet you have your sides. So most importantly, the grain direction comes into play. If you look at the side, you see these stripes going upward, in the vertical direction rather. That indicates that the grain direction is on the vertical side. And then the door, don't forget that we also indicated that on the doors too. So that's that. Once you're done with this, you can export to PDF. For you to export, you go to the top right where you have the hamburger sign or the icons, the 3 icons. There are 3 dotted icon. When you get there, you activate it. You have this tray, you have the new blank project again, like I explained earlier. So what we need to do now is to export to PDF. Okay, so we export to PDF so that you can view or print it out, because on this tray you can't see the print option. So we need to export to PDF to do so. So let's get on that. Export. So when you come here, you have the options of choosing the file name, the font size, the header text, the additional text, whatever you need. Show summary. I like to show my summary. Show cut table. Show the date of the project. So there are 2 things here that would be grayed out if you're using the free version of this application. The file name is automatic. The font size, of course, is also automatic. So you can actually, okay, sorry, the first 3 items here can be edited, except for the font size. Okay, and then the last 3 items here you cannot edit, so those ones are grayed out on your own app if you're using the free version. So I advise you get the pro version to have the optimum use or options available in the app. It's quite affordable. All right, so we'll export to PDF, and then we have to now choose the location or directory in your phone where you want this app to the file to be stored. So I like to use my internal storage, and then I use charge. I like to put all my Cutlist job there so that it's easy for me to locate. So I'll select that, and then this comes up. So quickly, you have your first sheet housing your doors and other components, and then the second sheet, and of course the last sheets. So you can easily share this with your work party. The details of the cut list is at the top left. You have the used stock sheets, 3 out of 4 like we indicated, and total area used. You have that the wasted area, the total cuts, the total cut length, and then blade thickness. So that's of course you have the panels like we indicated, and then the stock sheet. So you can actually track your errors if you need to or if you have to. All right, so that will be all for creating a simple cut list for a wardrobe. Okay, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and then you can click on the notification bar or button so that when I make a new video, you get notified. All right, have a great day.